Greetings, Warriors of the Ring. My name is Strider656, and I'm so thrilled to welcome you back for yet another adventure through Middle-earth. In this series, I will be playing random ladder matches on Discord and showing you War of the Ring games from my perspective by only viewing my cards and sharing with you my thoughts and in-game reactions while trying to keep the end result a mystery. The other player is aware that I'm making a video, as I ask for permission both before and after playing. Hope that you enjoyed this video, and I encourage you to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Today's adventure features StregoRe. StregoRe has just found the game very recently. He's got 15 ladder matches in so far, part of the Italian community, and is very excited to get a game in with me. He actually called me a grandmaster when he was looking for a game. And I messaged said, yeah, I'm willing to play. So I'm excited to see. I gave him the option of which side to play. And I told him no tokens, but he wants to take Fellowship. So I'll be playing a Shadow game. And hope you enjoy this. Just a shout out, just so everyone knows what's going on with the channel. I've been very active lately, and I plan to stay active as much as I can. I'm trying to post 3 War of the Ring games per week, and also I'm part of the Fury of Dracula Discord community, where I'm one of their casters, meaning that I'll broadcast their fall league. So you check that out on my channel in the live section. You can also find on the playlist as well. And thank you all. Let's jump into this game now. All right. So I draw into Orcs Multiplying again in War and Sorrow and Toil. Fellowship, okay. And so right away I'm thinking as Sauron is like, well, I'm not going to play War and Sorrow and Toil because I don't want the Fellowship to just stay put and declare and get rid of it. So I'm going to wait to see what happens. So I decided at first I want to just... Oh, he goes first. So I get to watch because normally free people pass this here. So that we're even on dice. But he goes right away by separating straight into here. Another option that he could do is to go Moria, and then he can get into Minas Tirith where he's much more defended. StregoRe did ask for feedback as well after the game. I'm not going to tell you who won. It could have been close. It could have been a wipeout. We'll find out together. But I'm going to say a little bit more commentary to give my thoughts on the moves I'm seeing. So I move Isengard to war, and they run to Druthel Julaith Lower. And I just bring Saruman in because I don't see him. I mean, he could give me a ring to have Gandalf crowned or flipped right now, but I don't really care. He passes now, and I just do the typical movements. I move my army from Farhar to Near her because I'm seeing Strider and Boromir here. So I'm thinking maybe I should do a Gondor attack early. Gives me a ring to move into Dol Amroth. And I just condense up. And did I do a second move? And turn army up to Gorgoroth. He flips Aragorn. And I just move up and out. That's turn 1. Turn 1 Aragorn for him. I joined a chorus there, so happy to see this, but, I'm not at war yet. But I see Aragorn there, so I'm like, I have hope. Allocate no eyes, because he didn't move, and I roll 1. And he starts by moving Gondor down. Why am I putting this out now? Oh, because I'm telling him he should move. Because I know right now that he wants to lose Gandalf. This is why I play War and Sorrow and Toil. He interestingly chooses the Will of the West to move. Usually, as a free player, you want to move with the characters because there's no way I have Day Without Dawn. That's the card you're going to fear. But Day Without Dawn cannot be played while all the units of the Southerns, Easterlings, and Sauron aren't at war yet. So there's no fear there. And I do hit and draw it too, and he loses Gandalf. So he loses a card for that. And changes his guide. I move everyone to Umbar and I move these guys up. My thought is the dew line. And I'm going to, of course, here's of Umbar him. I'm going to use the ring to bring the Southrons and Easterlings down, and then muster them again, and then play Corsairs. That's my thoughts. But then Strider does what he does. Aragorn runs away into Losterneck. He's just hiding. My vision is he gets crowned. Everyone's excited about it. And now he's just hanging out in the villages, like trying to hide in someone's house. So Aragorn is in a hut of a Gondorian. I laugh. I play Orcs Multiplying again. When I check the card, you can actually play that card without having Sauron at war. He plays Celeborn to draw a strategy card. And I'm with the Southrons and Easterlings down. Now I play Asses of the Stewards. And now Dol Amroth is ridiculous. But I decide I'm still going to go for it. I move these guys up. And I play Corsairs just to sit on them. So they don't get out of control. I leave one behind, always. Just so he can't get a military. So, still moving Fellowship. I'm glad there's no Gandalf the White. There could have been. Alright, I draw Cruel Weather. King is revealed. I didn't talk about Dreadful Spells last time. I must have forgotten to tell you my draws. See what he does first. Brings Gandalf the White in. Grey Havens. This makes me think maybe he has... what's it called? The Fearfire Foes or Book of Bizarrebles. So it's kind of scary for me. So now I'm just going to rush that dew line quicker. But I can't rush until Sauron's at war. So Sauron goes to war first. Then moves the Fellowship. I safe. And now all these guys are at war now. I'm all at war by turn 3, which is great. Let's see what the Free People does. It moves in. So Sauron's going to be a little tricky here. My thoughts are I have that Cruel Weather card, and I don't want them to move down. So first I'm going to get another Nazgul in, a.k.a. the Witch King. He plays Imrahil of Dol Amroth to make that more ridiculous. Now I play Dreadful Spells on Dale. I rolled too many here because if you look, there's only 3 Nazgul, but I rolled 4. But whenever the Witch King's there for me, I tend to do really well with Dreadful Spells. So successful spell casting to the Nazgul. Good job, Nazgul. He could give me a ring if he wants to move into Dale. But then he's given me 2 rings already. And it's not an attack, so no political movement. He moves the elves down. And now I take Dale over, which moves the north down. Did I do a second movement? Northern to Eastern. I condensed the Southrons and Easterlings. So I'm just doing a full Dale attack. And I'm ignoring Gondor. And I decide I want to make sure that the North can't muster later on. So I move these guys up here. And that's turn 3. So typical gameplay. Right now, I'm feeling pretty good about myself. I don't see the North mustering at all. The dew line feels pretty secure. I draw a Return to Valinor and Black Captain commands. And he starts moving the elves down. So I decide I'm not going to attack the elves yet. Because I don't want to do it for him. So instead I just move the north down. And I start moving towards Lorien. Because I don't want to get them to war and then start mustering like crazy in Lorien. So that's my thoughts. We talked in the chat for a while regarding the idea of putting a shadow control token. Usually I put the shadow control when I leave. That's how you do it in the game. But it's up to him. He can do what he wants. Moves the Fellowship again. And total miss. So the Fellowship's doing really well with their movement. And I condense in a dim roll deal. I decide that I'll leave Moria open. Not really worried about it. He moves the Fellowship again. And another miss. He's safe. I decide to play the King is Revealed. And then decide that's stupid. You never use that card, but it would be nice to go Gondor, but I think Gondor is getting out of hand anyway. So I'm just concerned. I don't think Gondor is a viable strategy. And on top of that, I said I have bad troops. Oh, yeah. So all the troops are basically out because of the orcs multiplying again. There's no more orcs to multiply, so that'll be a pointless card. Attack Woodland Realm, and I think I do Lorien instead because I don't want Lorien to be a 1/4, and I don't mind if this is a 1/2, which it is. So he musters them. And I play Black Captain Commands to get Nazgul in. I leave one guy behind. He puts Elven Cloaks in the pool. Again, pretty standard game. So I attack Old Forest Road from Carrick, hoping for a hit. Barely get it. I get 1. And he doesn't hit back. So the North is totally at war. All right. And I attack Woodland Realm. I want to take this out quick. I play Relentless Assault here. He knows I have it because I showed it before. But I don't want to use... It's not worth killing 2 guys because I need all the forces I can get, so I just say none. And let's see, yeah, that roll... If I had rolled 2, if I had killed 2 guys for that, I would not be very happy. I do get 1 hit on the reroll. He gets 3 hits, so very hard hit. I think about pressing. I decide to stop and draw. I draw into half orcs and goblin men. He takes his corruption. I saw Guard's Citadel up here, so I'm like, yep, definitely not Gondor. So again, I mean, I did see the card there. It's hard to ignore. But to be fair, I should show him Relentless Assault before. So I feel kind of even here. He draws a character card. I decide to attack Woodland Realm with this pathetic army because my thoughts are I can always muster up later. Deadly Strife. And he plays a Valor, so he hits on 3s and above, or 2s and above, actually. I get 4, which is enough. And he didn't have to reroll that, too, because he would have gotten it. Believe it or not. So he gets 3 back. And I'm up to 3. So I'm feeling pretty confident about my military. Right now I have a nice force up in the Dew line. I haven't seen Dane Ironfoot's Guard yet, but I know it could be coming. His Fellowship is not moving too fast. So for points, I'm thinking the Dew line. And Rohan, possibly. But I want nothing to do with Gondor. So I draw a Stormcrow. Well, I think I drew that with the Witch King ability. Flocks of Kerbane and New Powers Rising, which says Gondor to me. He decides to declare. Again, so StregoRe. What I recommend is not to declare until like either you can get into a stronghold, or you can stay in Rivendell the whole time, because now you're susceptible to me hitting you with cards and putting people on you. Fellowship, okay. I roll 2 more eyes, and he rolls like all movement, and a Palantir. Let's see what he does. I play as Dane. That's a nice draw. Put Erebor under siege. You could have done a field battle there with my pathetic army, but I understand you don't have any musters showing, so it might be risky. It was a Fellowship. I miss. I play Cruel Weather now. Normally you wait till later. My thought is I want to get rerolls on the Fellowship, and it's super obnoxious. It says nice play. I say thank you. Moves again, and he gets hit twice, and gets a 3. Takes Legolas for corruption. That's Warm with Sorrow and Toil. Gimli's now the guide. I play New Powers Rising. He decided to use a character action to move 1 regular, 1 leader back. And now I'm going to go into them because you can't do much. I'm going to put them under siege, is my thoughts. So I tell him I'm not going to roll. If you play Stormcrow against 1 guy, there's no point rolling. He doesn't hit, so I move everyone out. And I lose the Fellowship again, and I do hit. I draw 1 reveal. He takes a corruption. And Moria. This is interesting. He draws Gimli. And I tell him he can use that as a guide. Well, he knows that. And he's able to put them straight into Fangorn. So now I'm terrified. I'm like, he must have Ents. He has to have Ents here. It's going to be terrible. But I do have War with Sorrow and Toil, so that might have been an end card. So I'm feeling okay about that, so I have some time to deal with it. So I changed my plan. I'm not going to attack Rohan anymore, because these guys can't get there unless he gives me a ring now. So there's no way he's going to reinforce Helm's Deep unless he has a card to help him out, which I'm hoping he doesn't. So I need to protect myself. So I move these 3 down. They decide to teleport to Dale, and then I move the guys here so they can sit on Erebor and help. I remove War Star until there's no way I can play it anymore, so there's no point in having it. He flips the Fellowship as his last action, and I move the 3 regulars into Orthanc to protect myself and these guys up onto Erebor. So, pretty active. This is actually a pretty standard game so far. I've drawn Balrog. I'm thrilled. Sauron's thrilled right now because that's a great card to have. Allocate an eye, roll 2 more, and he rolls pretty well. He gives me a ring, which is interesting because he has all the actions he needs showing. Don't forget you can use the hybrid to muster as well. He moves Rohan down, so I'm like, whatever, that's fine. I'm not going to attack Rohan yet then. Instead, I'm just going to reinforce Orthanc. He moves a Fellowship now, and I hit, and it's just a 1. He takes his companion and puts him in Helm's Deep. Now I attack Lorien because I do have Balrog. Even though I have weak leadership, that's a great card to play. That's what I'm thinking. He plays a Daylight on me. I get 2, which is very lucky, on the pre. And then I get 2 more. Very, very, very lucky by me on a Daylight. So he played Daylight and I got 4 hits this combat. The Daylight wasn't very Daylight for free, for sure. Oh, second 6 doesn't count because I only had 1 leadership. So I didn't get 4, I got 3 total. He only got 1 back. Unfortunate. So I had to press, which is dangerous against that 9 army. Play Relentless Assault, which gives me 3. Very fortunate. He gets 2 back. It's a very bloody battle, but he's only got 1 guy left. Unfortunately, there's nothing I can do to press further. Then he plays a Power 2 Great. So I could discard these cards and take out Lorien, but I'm not in a rush. And my reason I'm not in a rush is he's already played Celeborn. So there's no way he's going to reinforce anymore into the stronghold. So I'll just leave it for later. So I'm going to change my sights to Erebor and to Rohan. All right, so I decide I'm going to use my muster just in case this battle goes poorly. I'm going to have reinforcements coming. He moves the Fellowship. I totally miss. Yeah. Attack Erebor. Let's see, playing there terrible because I can cycle character cards. Plus, it's the only card I really want to play. Because Half Orcs does discard a Power 2 Great. He plays Guards of the Citadel, so that's gone. Let's see how the charge does. Very strong charge. Those elves, those dwarves, just came out hitting hard, chucking axes down. My combat, I get 3 total. He gets 1 back. And then he has a hard time deciding how to downgrade. So I had to do the math. So he had a 2/3 army, which is 8 HP. So he has to have 5 HP in the end. He's got to figure out how to do that, and it's super difficult with dwarves because they're strong. Their hunt pool is so oh my gosh, their forest pool is so difficult to maneuver. So I told him how to do it. I said just do 2 elites and 1 regular. Wit. We're still doing it. There we go. That's what he does. All right. I press with no card because I might as well try. I do have reinforcements nearby, but that was a very fortunate round of combat, and I'm feeling maybe I can do well. Sudden strike. Let's see how this does. Nothing. The leaders came out and they threw like, I don't know what they threw on it, but nothing came out. And I got 1 and none. So StregoRe says big rolls. I feel bad for him. That happens, but I stopped because I don't want to press anymore. It was a fellowship again. I'm hit. He's hit, and it's a reveal. But I realize that's Gollum, so ignore it. So he could have gotten into Mordor this turn if he didn't use that ring to make the action a muster, which is what's showing right here. So I just tell him that too bad he gave me a ring. So I remember to move the dwarves down for him. And then I think for a little bit. And I think I just want to get Rohan to war because then I get the mouth right now. So I put Helm's Deep under siege. He musters 2 regulars, 1 in Fold, 1 in one in Westamnet, and 1 in Edoras. And I bring the mouth in because we're all at war. He says, well played. Because I can use this mouth to help in the Lorien siege. Turn 7. Red said Mordor. Allocate 1, draw 1 more. He has a very unfortunate roll, but fortunately for him, I do not have a Day Without Dawn. What I was thinking prior to this turn is I have Lidless Eye, but now he can discard it with like everything on the table. He was a fellowship, and they're safe. And Cruel Weather already happened, so he knows he's totally safe. I decide to take Helm's Deep to see if I can do it with no card. He plays a Confusion. Not confused at all, and I just kill them. And nothing back. And so... Ouch. So Mary dies in Helm's Deep. He tried very hard, but they just were probably sitting there drinking the barrels of alcohol. Or weed, whatever it is. Whatever they do. I attack Westamnet because I want to take Rohan out. That's my goal this turn. I'm not going to win right now, but I can take Rohan out. I get my hit. He gets nothing back. So what he could do here, he already has his movement, so he could always threaten to come up here to have Gondor come in defense of Rohan. That's potential. I don't know what just happened there. I think it was his 2 regulars. I attack Edoras with We Come to Kill. Nothing. I gets 2. And We Come to Kill gets 1. So I'm going to keep pressing. He stays. No card. I get 4, which is very lucky. And he gets 2 back. And I press, and he runs away. So I put 1 guy here. Now I just want to block Rohan totally out of this. Let's see what he does. He does a strategy card. I decide to flip the mouth and push these guys out of Westamnet. I do get 2 hits. He gets 1 back. And I put my 3 army here just to protect it. But now he could easily just move up and start attacking in. The danger is you only have so many forces. And I have armies here, but they're not that strong. He decides to muster in Pelargir and a leader in Minas Tirith. I play Palantir of Orthanc now so he can give me a ring. This is right time. And I also want to discard a power too great. So I played Pits of Mordor. And I put 2/2 and 2. Passes. Now discard power too great. He thinks about what to do for his dice. And he decides to... I'm trying to hint him. I'm like, you could attack here. That's probably what he should do. It's not even attack. It's move these guys to Druidane Forest. That's to be annoying. But he actually kills the die, which is rare. He says, need a ring. And I realized that he's not playing. I thought he was discarding Palantir of Orthanc. So I decided to draw a strategy card. I draw into Storm of Bats. Turn 8. He's in Mordor. All right, let's see what the hunt pool looks like. Hunt pool looks really good, actually, for him. I know there's a lot of eyes here, but there's also 2 zeros, a lot of ones. So it looks pretty good. If he can move a lot, he can win. But unfortunately, he rolls this. So I need to finish him off this turn. Moves a fellowship. I draw the 3. He reveals himself. Sure, I'm happy to see. I decided to use it as a Palantir so I could use Palantir of Orthanc. And I used my Hill Trolls. I think where to play them. And I think about Lorien, but I'm like, not needed. Let me finish Erebor instead and do this. Okay. He plays There Is No Other Way to hide and heal. I attack Erebor using probably using a Desperate Battle or Storm of Bats. Storm of Bats Confusion. I protected myself on 1 hit because of that. But I got 2. I did not hit again. And he got 3 back. So I think I'm going to do casualties for a while here. And there we go. So I had to press and draw, see if I can finish him. Deadly Strife is definitely coming out. He gets a no quarter. So I get I get him easy. Why did I say 1? Oh, that's not desperate. I didn't play Deadly Strife. I should have played a Deadly Strife. What an idiot. Well, I got 1 hit. And he had 3 back. So I decided to press. Which is crazy. And I do Deadly Strife, and I get 1. And he gets 1 in the reroll. So that was fun. It was very, very deadly up there. And now I'm just need to get 1 more point. And he cannot... It's impossible for him to take anything back at this point. Because he only got the 1 army. Unless he does Hercules and, like, attacks, kills all 3 of them, and then attacks again into... here. But I think what I would do if that's the case is I would move out and try to take Pelargir. So he actually uses a ring to move the fellowship so he can get further and only draws a 1. And I decide to muster up in here. He brings an elite into Minas Tirith, and I'm like, you know what, let's just end the game. And I move all my leadership to Lorien. He puts an elite in Woodland Realm, or sorry, in Rivendell. I attack Lorien using They Are Terrible, and yeah, the reroll gets 3 hits. So that was the game. Thank you so much for playing StregoRe. For those watching, I know this is a little different than a typical adventure, but it was. This is how games go sometimes. StregoRe, you asked for feedback I can give you, and feel free to also for people who view the channel to give free some feedback as well. Number 1, we said it earlier, just if you have Gandalf the White in your fellowship and you see Saruman or the Witch King is already out, use your characters before using Will of the West. We talked about that after the game. Also, I learned after the game that the Ents card, he had an Ents card in hand when he separated Pippin to Fangorn, but it got discarded with Warm with Sorrow and Toil. So that's a cool tidbit. But thank you all so much for watching this video. Please feel to like, subscribe, leave a comment, and I'll see you. Let's see how the stats were. They felt really stacked against him. Yeah, okay. Let me share the stats with you. So, -4 on 6 is hurt. And I was +1 on 6s. But I didn't roll, you know, I rolled enough hits, so I shouldn't really complain at all. So I did get the hits I needed in this game at the right times. I just didn't hit for the hunts. That's where I didn't hit that much. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.